Yo, 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 what's good, fam? Welcome to PNP. It's your boy Rashad, one half of PNP, and today I'm here to talk sophomores. Yeah, Derrick Brown, Jeremy Chinn, YGM, y'all know what's up. Before we get into this, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, get in these comments. YouTube, we trying to get to 50,000 subscribers. My subscribers have completely slowed down. I'm talking about snail's pace, okay? We talking about 1 or 2 followers per week. That ain't enough. I need these subs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, all right? And if you don't have that Newsbreak app, make sure you download the Newsbreak app and let me know what's good. Hit that follow button on Newsbreak. We're trying to get to like 500 Newsbreak subscribers. So please hit that follow button. Let me know what's up. Hit the like button on all my videos to get the algorithm to pop, even on Newsbreak. So Newsbreak, YouTube, no matter what platform you're watching on, I appreciate it, all right? Now, let's get into this. Year 2, sophomores. Listen, last year the Panthers made history. We made history by drafting all defensive players, okay? That was the first draft under the Matt Rhule era. And remember, this was drafted by Marty Hurney, okay? Marty Hurney in conjunction with Matt Rhule. Now, keep that in mind. I think they did a good job. We knocked it out the park with Jeremy Chinn. Even Derrick Brown lived up to his draft status, okay? So we had some really good players. YGM did all right. Bravvion Roy stepped it up. But we got some other guys that's struggling a little bit, and we're going to get into it right now. All right, let's get into this. With the 7th overall pick of the 2020 draft, the Carolina Panthers selected Derrick Brown, defensive lineman out of Auburn. And I really liked this pick at the time. If you go back and listen to some of the videos that I did, the film reaction videos I did, I was always a huge fan of Derrick Brown. And I thought it was a pipe dream for us getting him. This is a guy that had top 5 written all over him since his sophomore year, and it didn't happen. For some reason he fell to us, and we took him. But it was a great season. He did get an all rookie team nod, and the guy had a great season. And it may not look like it, just because I think he dealt with a lot as far as injuries are concerned of other players, guys like K'Wan Short. It was supposed to be K'Wan Short, Derrick Brown. This was supposed to be the second coming, okay? Derrick Brown was supposed to be the run stopper. K'Wan Short was supposed to be that pass rushing defensive tackle. He's supposed to get back to his Pro Bowl form, and it did not happen. He went down with injury. Zach Kerr was also supposed to be a guy that was supposed to step up. He also went down with injury. So oftentimes it was Bravvion Roy lined up next to Derrick Brown, who was also a rookie. So oftentimes you would see the double teams come in Derrick Brown's way, and he dealt with them very well. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But the guy had a great season. Look at the 32 pressures. Those 32 pressures had him ranked second among all rookie defenders, only trailing Chase Young, which is crazy. That's just insane. From an interior guy, 2 sacks, 23 hurries, 26 tackles, and he had a great pass rushing grade, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Now, going into his going into the draft, one of his negatives was that he couldn't rush the passer. He wasn't an effective pass rusher in college. That was the quote-unquote negative of him coming into college. And as you can see in these highlights, this man did damage. And you can see the pressures, the sacks. He was a better pass rusher than he was a run blocker in his first year. So he completely flipped the narrative. The guy has single-handedly, he can move guys at the line of scrimmage. This guy is just a people mover. He did it in college. He moved people in the NFL. A lot of people didn't think he had the power to move guys, and he did that. He moved guys literally out the way in the NFL. He's got really heavy hands. Once his hands get on you, it's a wrap. You can't double team him. He's going to beat the double teams, which we'll talk about in a second. And the guy just has the ability to beat you with the quick first step as a pass rusher, something that I thought he could not do. So it's crazy, especially when he's lined up over center. When he's lined up over center, he has a 20% win rate, which is insane. He lined up on the center 68 times, and he beat that guy 20%. That is insane. I don't think y'all know how crazy that is. So Derrick Brown, again, he got it going. His first 8 games, he had 12 pressures, 6.1% pressure rate. The last 7 games, he turned it up to another level. You hear me? 22 pressures. 9% pressure rate, and that's in 7 games, okay? Now let's talk about this pressure, because it's something to behold, okay? I know a lot of y'all may hate these charts. I hate them too because they're really hard to read, but let me help y'all out with this. At the bottom of the screen, the bottom row, okay, the double team rate. That's his double team. That's how often he was double teamed. Okay, and let's see if we can locate Derrick Brown. So if you look at this middle, the cross, if you find the cross, go to your right, and you're going to see Derrick Brown right on the line. That's where Derrick Brown is. So let me explain this. He was double teamed just as much as Zach Zettler, Adam Butler, Akeem Hicks, Dalvin Tomlinson, just right under Dexter Lawrence, right under Fletcher Cox, and of course not too far from Aaron Donald. That's the bottom row. The top row, the left side and going up is the pass rush win rate. Okay, that's how often you won. Aaron Donald is out of here. He's out of here on a whole nother stratosphere. As you can see, Derrick Brown, he's right at just about 10%. Okay, he's right at 10%, but he's also getting double teamed about 65% of the time. That's what that means. So he's still winning in spite of being double teamed as much as he is. That's crazy. And I think what you can expect from Derrick Brown, we'll get into my predictions. What you can expect from Derrick Brown next year is Fletcher Cox level production, in my opinion. I expect this guy to turn it up and go from 32 pressures to 38 pressures. He's going to turn it up a little bit. I think when you have him next to a guy like Daquan Jones, if he can stay healthy and they can get that tandem together, and you got guys like Brian Burns coming off the edge, and you got guys like Hassan Reddick coming off the edge, it's a recipe for success for everybody. That defensive line is going to be something we can be excited about. Again, I think he's going to go from 2 sacks to 6.5 sacks in 2021. He's going to go from 23 hurries to 32 hurries in 2021. 26 tackles to 35 tackles in 2021. Okay, I really think that this dude Derrick Brown is going to take it to a whole nother level. The defensive line is going to be a beast, and I expect Derrick Brown to hit Fletcher Cox level production. He's going to do it, and I really have faith in Derrick Brown. He's been dominating since college. He's been throwing dudes around since college. He's going to continue to do that. He's going to be a beast, especially with a guy like Daquan Jones coming up next to him, and then with other guys in rotation. Derrick Brown is going to be successful. He's going to continue doing what he's doing, and that's called dominating. All right, next up, we got Yetur Gross-Matos. This guy had an up-and-down rookie season, missed some time with some injuries, but I think when he was on the field, he had some good games, some not so good games, some mishaps in the run game, some miscommunication, some lack of awareness at times, but it was okay. I mean, you got to understand, this guy it needs some time to develop. He's not a dominant edge rusher. I liked him coming out of Penn State. He did some good things there at Penn State, but it's going to take some time. We got to be patient with some of these guys. And I know we spent a lot of picks on defensive guys, and they're expected to come in and play day one and be effective. But sometimes there is a learning curve in play. And Yetur, he learned about that. But he did have 20 total pressures, 3 sacks, 13 hurries, and 13 tackles his rookie season. Now, again, he did spend some time on injured reserve with an ankle injury. He also had some concussion issues, and he was on the COVID list. So there was a lot going on. However, he did play in 12 of 16 games, and he started the final 7 games to end the season. So there were some good things. He ended the season on a high note. But again, coming out of Penn State, there were some worries about his dominance as a pass rusher. Can he do it as a pass rusher? We know he can stop the run. We knew he could stop the run. And coming into the draft, we knew that the Carolina Panthers had issues stopping the run. So what do? We went and got a run-stopping edge rusher. And think about Horton. Horton was a guy that Wes Horton was a guy that was a run-stopping edge rusher, and that's what Yetur is. And I think it was effective. Horton was an effective guy. He had his role, and that's where Yetur should be. And I think he's going to play that role coming in 2021. But we'll get into those expectations a little bit later. But again, he had some really good moments. Let's look at some of these highlights. Again, he in the Cardinals game, I mean, the dude had a 91.2 pass rushing game in the Cardinals game. Again, he had a lot of good things to come from in that game. And you see right here in this game, it was a very good game. He forced this sack fumble right here. So he had some really good performances. And he had a good game against Atlanta. But oftentimes, there were some miscommunications in the run game, and that's where he was supposed to be effective. And again, he had to learn the scheme, so it just kind of is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these expectations for Yetur Gross-Matos coming into 2021. Now, we have to talk about this caveat. There is a caveat because, you got a guy like Hassan Reddick, a pass rushing specialist, coming in to take some of these snaps from Yetur. Okay, there's going to be some snaps taken from him depending on the lineups, depending on how he's deployed. Again, I think Yetur can play 5 technique in a 3-4. He can play edge defensive end in a 4-3. So I think he can stay on the field. However, some of his snaps will probably be taken. We brought in Morgan Fox, so there is some guys going to take away from his snaps. So I do think there's going to be a moderate improvement, not a big improvement, a moderate improvement from Yetur Gross-Matos coming in 2021. So it's going to go from 20 pressures to 25 pressures. I think he'll get 1 extra sack, and I think that's because of the extra guys coming in. He's going to get an additional sack, and I think he's going to go from 13 to 15 hurries and 13 to 20 tackles. I think he's going to be more effective in the run game. He's going to know where he needs to be. So that's what I have for Yetur Gross-Matos. Those expectations, again, moderate improvement. He is on high alert, okay? He's on high alert because we brought in some guys. We brought in some guys that could potentially take some snaps from him. And so he is on high alert. He has to be effective and he has to be available. Again, you can't predict injuries. It is what it is. But he has to be available and he has to play his role well because there's guys coming in and take his spot. Guys like Morgan Fox. Guys like Hassan Reddick. Those guys will be taking snaps from Yetur. And again, I think he can solidify his role if he's effective. And I expect him to do just that. Next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Chinn, the guy that was supposed to be the defensive rookie of the year. He got snubbed. It is what it is. But this guy had an amazing rookie season, okay? An amazing rookie season. He was taken in the second round. And this guy, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be straight up real with y'all. I did my film reaction video for him, and I was not necessarily sold coming out of college. And everybody tried to tell me. And listen, I call myself out when I'm wrong. I'm a man. I keep it a buck with y'all always. I was not sold on Jeremy Chinn. I was completely and utterly wrong for doubting Jeremy Chinn ever. I should be put in a box and on punishment for doubting Jeremy Chinn. This dude was great. Elite, dare I say, his rookie season. 20 pressures, 1 sack, 9 hurries, 89 individual tackles. That's not combined tackles. That's 89 tackles individually, 1 interception, 5 pass breakups. The man was all over the field. And don't pay attention to the PFF grades. Just box it out. They do not. We had an interview. Shout out to all our Patreon members, but they do not have a grade for hybrid guys like Jeremy Chinn. There's no way to effectively grade him because they grade by position. They put him in a box. They graded him as a safety when he oftentimes lined up at a linebacker position. Okay, so there is no way to grade Jeremy Chinn effectively. It just is what it is. Okay, he is a unicorn, and you just can't put him in a box. Okay, the guy was all over the field. All over the field. Let's get into some of these highlights so you could just see. Okay, the guy was just all over the place. Okay, he combined for a team high 117 total tackles. Okay, it's crazy. All right, this dude was all over the field. He had the 2 touchdowns in the Minnesota game. He's just a straight up beast. And again, now they're talking about playing him more at the safety role, but still kind of utilizing him all over the field. So it just is going to depend how he's deployed on whether he can go out and do this again. Can he go out and do it again? I don't know. It just depends on where he's deployed. Teams are going to have to scheme for him now. They're going to put emphasis on where he is when it comes to game planning. Okay? So can Phil Snow deploy him in the same manner that he did last year? I don't know, because Matt Rhule says one thing, Phil Snow says another thing. Matt Rhule says he's going to line up more at safety. Phil Snow says, we're going to still deploy him like we did last year. So we will see. We will see where he is lined up. I don't know. I have no idea, okay? but I'm excited for the cat. Now, don't kill me. Don't kill me for this. Okay, you're going to see some red on this screen, and you're going to look at it like, Shy, you tripping again. Nah, just let me explain, okay? Let me explain. The 20 pressures are going to come down to 15 because I simply think he's going to play more at a safety role this year. Not necessarily saying he's not going to play at a hybrid linebacker role. I think he's still going to get those linebacker. They're still going to blitz him. Even Phil Snow said, you'd be crazy not to blitz a guy that's 6'3", 220-something, and as fast as he is. You have to blitz him. So I think he's still going to get some of those looks. But I don't think it's going to be as often. So I think it's going to pull back just a tad. I think he's going to be deployed more effectively, leading to maybe an additional sack. Okay, effectively. They're going to pick and choose their times. When he goes, he's going to be effective. Same with the hurries. The hurries are going to come down from 9 to 5, in my opinion. No pun intended, all right? So, 89, this individual tackles. I think he's going to come to 105 total tackles. I'm telling you, this man, especially at safety, this dude's going to be all over the field. Typically, you don't like seeing a safety with high tackle numbers. But I'm just telling y'all, this dude's going to be all over the place. He's really, really effective. Again, when he's out there, he diagnoses well. He does not often miss too many tackles. He's going to bring you down once he gets his hands on you, okay? And look at these interceptions. He's going to go from 1 interception to 3 interceptions. Again, that's a product of playing in the backfield a little bit more. He's going to be able to diagnose. Again, all those, you saw the highlight where he was in the right place at the right time. He knows how to diagnose the plays. He played safety in college. He knows how to play it. If he picks it up, you're going to see him play at safety a little bit more. And then you got the pass breakups. He's going to go from 5 pass breakups to 10 pass breakups, okay? This guy is going to be all over the field, in the backfield, deployed a little bit more effectively when it comes to blitzing and playing the linebacker role. He's going to be deployed effectively. I have faith in Phil Snow. He's going to get the best out of him, but Jeremy Chinn is going to duplicate that effort. He's going to be just as good as he was in 2021. I'm calling it now. This dude is special. He's a special guy, and I'm excited for Jeremy Chinn, and I apologize for ever doubting you, okay? My bad. All right, next up we have Troy Pride Jr., taken in the 4th round. Had 32 tackles and 1 pass breakup his rookie year. And this man definitely got the short end of the stick. He was taken in the 4th round, and he was not supposed to be a week 1 starter, but he was put out there because we had injuries to Dante Jackson and because we had injuries to Eli Apple. He was not supposed to be out there. He's put out there, and he got roasted. And I'm not trying to be funny, but he wasn't supposed to be out there, and he allowed 6 receptions for 106 yards and a touchdown on just 6 targets. That's not necessarily good, but it's not his fault either. He was put out there, underprepared, wasn't, 4th round pick, are not supposed to be starters. And he was out there. And so he would go on the rest of the season to allow 27 receptions for 382 yards and 2 touchdowns on just 36 targets. So it's not very good. The passer rating against him was astronomical. As you can see with these 32 tackles, the quarterbacks tend to pick on him. They knew where he was. They would go after him. And it's not his fault. I don't think he was quite ready. However, he did do some things that were positive. He did some positive things out there on the football field, especially against Justin Jefferson right here. You can see he did well. I think he did well there. And it comes to a situation where he wasn't supposed to be out there. He needed time to develop. And I think, coming into 2021, I just think that there is a lot in front of him at this point. You got, we drafted Joe Horn in the 1st round this year, and you got AJ Bouye coming in. You got a healthy Dante Jackson who is going to play all 16 games because it's a contract year, and that gout will not get in the way. He's going to play all 16. He's going to fight through every single injury to prove his contract value. So Dante Jackson is going to make himself available unless he has a catastrophic injury. I prayers for that not to happen, and I don't want to speak that up. But unless something crazy happens, Dante Jackson will be out there. You got guys like Keith Taylor that were drafted. There was a lot of investment into the secondary, and I just think that this guy is not going to be on the field. And I have his production dropping from 32 tackles to 25 tackles. That's just because if he's out there, he's going to get picked on. But I do have his pass breakups going up 1 just because I think he's going to develop a little bit better. And even with this year, coming in this year, I don't think he's been at OTAs. I think he's nursing the injury right now. So Troy Pride, bro, we got to see you out there. We hopefully he has a really good training camp, because if he doesn't, he's going to get quote unquote lost in the sauce. So he is on high alert. High alert for Troy Pride, okay? He might get lost in the sauce if he doesn't start showing improving. And I know we just spent a fourth round pick on him, but as you can see, we just spent more picks in the secondary. More picks were invested, and a 2-year deal for AJ Bouye. So Troy Pride's got to show up when it's time, because he could get lost in the sauce. That's all I got for Troy Pride. All right, next up we have Kenny Robinson Jr. And this is a guy who was taken in the 5th round. And a lot of y'all tried to tell me, and listen, y'all just heard me call myself out over the Jeremy Chinn stuff. Rightfully so. I called myself out. But I'm calling y'all out on this one, because a lot of y'all told me Kenny Robinson was going to be the man. And I was never sold. Go back and look at my my sessions, my film session with Kenny Robinson. I was never sold. I pulled up his XFL film, didn't see it. Pulled up his West Virginia film, didn't see it. And that's no disrespect to him. No disrespect to him, but I just did not see it. That's just my personal opinion. And I'm no expert. Kenny Robinson, he's a special teams contributor that did, and it's never good. It's never good when you get cut as a draft pick. Your rookie year, you got cut, and I know we brought him back, but there's a reason why we cut him. You only cut somebody their rookie season because nobody else is going to pick him up and you can bring him back. That was a calculated risk by the front office, and they knew nobody was going to bite when they let him go. And so they let him go and got him back. The proof is in the pudding, in their actions. Their actions say it all, okay? This is a guy, he's a special teams guy. He played 125 special team snaps in total. 44 of those snaps came in the final 3 weeks, okay? So just about a little under half of his production came in the final 3 weeks of the season. Not good. Not good. And he only played 6. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 defensive snaps all year. That is not good. And it's never good when an undrafted free agent like Sam Franklin gets a nod over you. And I know that may be a slight case of nepotism with Matt Rhule, and the fact that Sam Franklin went to Temple. He might know the system a little bit better. Because that's the same system they ran at Temple when Phil Snow and Matt Rhule were there. Maybe a slight case of nepotism, but at the end of the day, it's never good when you get cut as a rookie in your rookie year, and it's never good when you have an undrafted free agent get more snaps than you. It's never good. Never, never, never good. And I don't know if there's a path for him to get on the field next year with Jeremy Chinn moving to potentially play safety. And you still got Justin Burris out there, and Clinton Dix got a tryout, but we don't know where that stands. I'm sure they could bring him back for training camp. You never know. But it appears that they're still looking to improve the safety room with a guy that you just drafted. So the writing on the wall is there for Kenny Robinson. And that goes into my predictions. My 2021 prediction for Kenny Robinson is there is none. There will be no significant contribution for Kenny Robinson in 2021. And I'm not trying to be harsh or rude. I just think it is what it is. Next up, we have Bravvion Roy, a guy who was not supposed to be playing as much as he did, taken as a 6th round pick in the 2020 draft. Matt Rhule went out there, showed some nepotism, went out and got his guy from Baylor. And again, he was not supposed to be out there, but I think he played relatively well considering the circumstances. Again, if you look at it, K1 Short was supposed to be out there. He got hurt. Zach Kerr, same thing. So Bravvion Roy got a lot more PT than he was supposed to, but I thought he played well with the opportunity he was provided. 10 pressures, 1 sack, 5 hurries, 20 tackles. And again, if you extrapolate the numbers and give him the same amount of snaps that Derrick Brown did, the numbers would have been very, very comparable. Not quite the same, but it would have been comparable. And so I really like Bravvion Roy, what he did last year. Again, he has some things he needs to improve on, but he went out there and did his thug thizzle, okay? He's very nimble. He can move around. He's got good quickness as a big dude. The only thing that was a knock for him coming into the draft was his really short arms. He's got really short arms, but I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a good job coming into the draft, and he had some really good moments against the Bucks. In week 10, he had an 80.7 PFF grade, so he did a really good job. A really good job. And so for me, going into the 2021 season, I think there's some things to kind of pay attention to. You got guys like Daquan Jones coming in, so he's gonna rotate a little bit more. But I think again he's gonna be a little bit more effective in his rotation. He's gonna be able to come in fresh legs, be able to do his thing. So I think while his snaps may decrease a little bit, his production will increase. So he's gonna go from 10 pressures to 12 pressures, 1 sack to maybe 2 sacks, 5 hurries to 10 hurries, and 20 tackles to 23 tackles. I think he's going to be a little bit more productive, and I still think he's going to get burned. Again, as a 6th round pick, I thought he was really impressive doing his thing. Next up, we have Stanley Thomas-Oliver taken in the 7th round. This guy has some solid tape coming out of college, and I liked it. I liked the pick. He had 7 tackles this year. He played 52 coverage snaps, allowing 6 receptions on 7 targets for 79 yards and a touchdown. Okay, so he had a little bit of burn, not a lot, but again, things are going to get in the way for him getting on the field. Look at the recent investment in the secondary. Drafted J.C. Horn, drafted Keith Taylor. We brought in AJ Bouye on a 2-year deal. So there is a lot of guys in front of him, and I don't know that he's ever going to get a real opportunity unless there's an injury. Okay, same with Troy Pride. There's a lot of guys that we brought in. We found out real quick that those guys weren't it, and they need more time. Okay, maybe Stanley Thomas-Oliver might be that guy when AJ Bouye's contract expires. Maybe he'll be ready by then, but right now he's not ready, and I think it's going to take him a couple more years. Again, he is, just some context, he is a converted wide receiver, so he's just learning the position, and now he's in the NFL trying to learn a position pretty much brand new to the position. Okay, so give him some time. I think he's going to figure it out, but for 2021, I don't think he's going to get much opportunity. There's a lot of guys in front of him, and I expect him to get his production to drop maybe 5 tackles. So that's what I have for the 2020 draft class.
Now, I've been through all of the draft picks. Let me know what y'all think. Get in these comments. Let me know what's good. Do y'all like my content? No? You disagree somewhere? Let me know what's up, man. Either way, get in these comments. Let that algorithm pop for your boy. We got a lot of content coming. Training camp is right around the corner. It's going to be so lit. So make sure you subscribe to PNP on YouTube. Subscribe or follow PNP on Newsbreak app. Let's make this thing happen. Appreciate all y'all support, all right? That being said, I'm out. Peace.